Hey everybody, Craig here, CLP Bushcraft. So I'm out in the woods, and today is January the 1st, 2025. Yep, that's it. It's New Year's Day today. And I'm off work, and I thought, what better place to be to start out the new year in my spot out here on my place. So I come out and I wanted to share some videos with y'all today. Wanted to do a few videos and show y'all a couple of different things. And this video, I want to show y'all so like if you're like me, all right, and you like fixed blade knives. So there's all different ways to carry fixed blade knives. I want to show you my different ways that I carry my favorite fixed blade knives, whether it be neck carry, belt carry, scout carry, all these different things. I want to show you. I grabbed up several knives that I love and like to carry and use, and I thought, okay, I'd come over here and show y'all these different ways that I carry these knives, and it might give y'all ideas for ways that you hadn't thought of to carry yours. So stick with me. I'm going to show y'all each individual knife, kind of go over the knife just a little bit, and then show you how I like to carry it. Stick with me. Cheers. Okay, so I grabbed up 10 different knives, and these different knives, there's like normally at least 2 ways that you can carry this knife. Some of them 3 different ways or more. But these are the different knives that I like to carry with me and use. A lot of them see a lot more use than others, but all these knives I would never get rid of, and they get used from time to time regardless. So I'm going to start out with the biggest of the knives. And the biggest one is my LT Wright Knives Regulator. I absolutely love this knife. This knife has seen so much use. Look at all the patina and everything that's on this knife now. I mean, it is well loved. It is one of my favorite bigger knives that I've ever used. The heft on this thing is awesome. The chopping ability is great. This knife I actually used instead of, so like carving, a lot of times I'll use an axe or like a hatchet to start roughing out something. So I'm still working on this Kuxa. If you've been following me a little bit, I've started this Kuxa here a good while back. Still working on it. But I roughed out the Kuxa with the Regulator versus the axe, and I actually like it better roughing out like this Kuxa and like spoons and stuff like that. But anyway, this is a bigger knife, and it's got a leather JRE sheath, awesome sheaths made by JRE, and it's set up. You can carry it right on your belt, or you can do the dangler. And not to say that I can't do that or I won't do that. I just, with this bigger knife, I don't really prefer that way of carrying it. Normally this knife will always go with me, but the way I carry this knife is, well, I had my bag unzipped making coffee. Let me show you. Bag zipped up. So the way I'll do this knife is normally just carry it right on the side of my pack, like so. And then I got my Granfors Brooks outdoor axe there, my Silky Gomboy saw, and then the Regulator. So that is normally the way that this knife would be carried, is in my pack. But if I wanted to, I could definitely throw it on belt. All right, let's show you the next one. Okay, so the next knife is my LT Wright Knives Gen 6 Big Larry. And it is also a bigger knife, like the Regulator, but it's not near as thick and not near as heavy. So this knife is definitely a bigger knife that you could carry on your belt, that is a comfortable knife to carry on your belt, what I'm trying to say. But this knife is set up, it's got a JRE industry sheath also. And I've wet formed this sheath. I'm gonna try to get a video out showing y'all wet forming too. There's a lot of videos out of how to wet form. But wet formed this sheath, and it's set up the same way as the Regulator with a dangler or just straight belt carry this way. With this one, I prefer to run it just through this loop instead of doing the dangler. That way, because it's so long and it's just more comfortable with me this way, as I'll show you now. Okay, so like I was saying, this one, I just like to run it right on to the belt like so, and then use the dangler part. It just kind of hangs down this way. But with the length of this knife, I like the way that it rides better instead of using the dangler, just using it that way. But very easy to get out, put back in. Yeah, so that's the way I like to carry this knife. Okay, so my next knife is my Genesis. This is the homebrew scale Genesis that I picked up at Texas Blade Show last year. And it's like with all my Genesis, the way I like to carry them. It's got the same sheath as like the Big Larry, but I like to use the dangler with the Genesis, basically because of the lengthwise. This is just a step down from it. This is a 4-inch blade, whereas the Big Larry is a 6-inch blade, so there's a couple inches difference there. But with this one, I just prefer the dangler loop, carrying it that way, as I'll show you now. Okay, so here this is the Genesis in the dangler loop. So as you can see, the reason it's called a dangler is it dangles on your belt. One thing I really like about that, so when I'm over here, I've got on like my hoodie that you see me wearing. I'm just taking it off when I'm showing y'all the knives, so the hoodie ain't in the way. But I've also always got like a moisture wicking style shirt, like this Under Armour shirt. But with it being the dangler, it's easy to get back in to the sheath if you got like the shirt or whatever on. It hangs down a little bit lower than the shirt. Another thing is too is you can, if you're doing something, you can grab it with your left hand and take it out that way, especially if you're on your knees doing something on the ground, whatever, setting, you just grab it and take it straight out. So with all my Genesis that I carry in a dangler sheath like this, that's the way that I carry all of them, is just directly on my belt using the dangler. Okay, so the next two is basically, these two knives are, I carry them in the woods. I'm out in the woods today with them, but it's my pronghorn and my next gen. And these don't have danglers. These are just belt loop. Just goes directly onto the belt itself with just the loop here. But with these two knives, these are the ones that I use or carry a lot when I'm going out to town, something like that. I mean, 99% of the time I've got a fixed blade knife on me or with me. That's always. Whether, I mean, like my EDC pack, this is a Christmas present from my wife, but it's a new pack, and this is my like urban everyday carry style pack now that I've got. But I always, like, even if I'm working, I'll have this knife in there, and 90% of the time I've got this one in there as well. But I'll always have a fixed blade with me. So when I'm off or when I'm going to town, something like that, I like to have a fixed blade on my belt. Or if I'm going to church, stuff like that, I like to have a fixed blade on my belt. But I don't want, a bigger fixed blade. So with these two are perfect, size-wise. This is the pronghorn. This is my key stamp pronghorn that I got at Blade Show Atlanta, not last year, but year before last. And then this is my custom next gen that I got off the Christmas vault back in 2020, I think it was. But anyway, both these knives I like to carry when I'm going to town, that kind of thing. And I like the size of them. So I'll show you them on belt and let you see the size comparison. Okay, first up, we'll do the next gen. So as you can see, if I got a shirt on, it'll hang down a little bit below it, but not bad. But the size wise of it, it's really comfortable just having it directly on belt like this. Then the one that I actually carry the most though is my pronghorn. As you can see with it just barely hangs down past my shirt. But it is an extremely comfortable knife with the size of it. Just wearing it as a belt knife. But that's them two. Okay, so the next two are smaller knives, and the only option, the way I got them set up right now, the only option that I got them set up to do is neck carry. So this is my small northern hunter, and it's in an LT Wright Kydex sheath and neck carry. I really love neck carrying a knife, especially when I'm out in the woods. So if I'm out in the woods and we're doing something, I normally always have a knife on my hip, and then I always have a knife around my neck. So it's just so handy to have one right there that you can get to when you're doing stuff. I mean, it's just really nice. So I have this one, and this is my Woods Monkey Kerf Carver. It's that snap. So the Woods Monkey Kerf Carver or the Small Northern Hunter are my main two neck knife carries that I use. Most of the time, if I'm like kayaking, I'll take this one. A lot of times I won't wear it around my neck. If I'm actually, while I'm paddling or whatever, I'll just put it in my PFD. But then if I get to where I'm going or whatever, this one here is just so nice because it's so thin. And if I was to catch fish and wanted to clean them or whatever, I'd use this one. And it's in AEBL steel too, so it's great as far as a water knife goes. But yeah, so this is a neck carry, and then this one is my neck carry. Two great knives, and I really like neck carrying, especially when I'm out here in the woods doing stuff. Okay, so with these next two, both of these I could actually neck carry and have neck carried, both of them. But these are small enough that if I wanted to put it in my pocket, I could put them in my pocket. So this one is a Frontier First, I'm pretty sure, but it's a customized one that I got. The blade shape's a little different, and it's very thin. And then I love this JRE sheath that it's in. It's just you can belt carry it as well. And then I've ran paracord through it like the other one's just through the loop here, and then neck carried this. But this one is so thin, you could just slide it down in your front pocket, and it's very comfortable that way. This one is my little mini Jenny, and it is also, I mean, a really good neck carry knife, as small as it is. But this is another one, especially with the Kydex sheath. I mean, it ain't coming out or nothing. You can just throw this directly in your pocket, in like your front pocket or whatever, and you don't really notice it's there until you need it. And it's a small little knife, but it works great opening boxes and stuff like that, because you can just kind of index it and swipe through boxes and open packages. This is kind of like my favorite knife to use when opening Christmas presents and stuff, is just having this one. I know it's just kind of fun. But yeah, so you put both these in your pocket, as you'll see here. Okay, so like I say, you can just throw it directly into your front pocket, and you really don't even know it's there. And then you can just get it out and take it out of the sheath if need be, or if you need it, whatever. But this one, like I say, this one I love. It rides perfect in your front pocket, like so. And then I've got the little lanyard loop on it where I can grab it, so I can actually put it in my front pocket like this, and then have the little lanyard loop. I can pull it out like this. Just have to kind of watch putting it back in, make sure you're putting it in the sheath and not stabbing yourself in the leg. But yeah, works really well in a front pocket style carry with these two knives. Okay, and lastly, when I got this knife, I knew exactly how that I wanted to carry it. And this knife is extremely comfortable carrying it this way. And this is the only knife that I have that I do carry this way. And that's scout carry. Scout carry is when you carry on the small of your back and you deploy the knife out sideways like this. So this knife is my LT Wright Knives Chamonix. This is the brainchild of Craig Cottle, and he come up with the Chamonix style. And this is he's got a couple of different variations of it now. This is the original Chamonix, and I got it, like I said, in the Kydex sheath. But you can get these from Craig Cottle, Nature Reliance, and he sells these on his site. It's an amazing knife, extremely comfortable in hand, and the design of it is just really, really cool. It is basically called the long knife, is what it means, the Chamonix. But yeah, extremely comfortable knife, and it's a bigger knife, but you can do all kinds of tasks with this knife, even with it being bigger. But yeah, this one, I wind up, it didn't come with these buckle system here. I don't even remember what brand these are, but this way they can just unsnap, and I can run them through the back of my belt and then snap them back. And then you got the knife right there on the small of your back. So you just reach around and grab it. So let me show you it on belt. So, as you can see, it's gonna be kind of difficult to turn and look into the camera at it to see if I'm in focus or in frame. But as you can see, I've got it directly on the belt with these two buckles like this, and you just reach around and grab it. This works really well too with a pack. If you got your backpack on, then you can, let me show you. So with a pack on, like so, it rides right below the pack. So it's very comfortable and easy to get to if you need to get to it in a hurry. Pretty easy to deploy back. But yeah, it works really well with your pack. It doesn't get in the way or anything like that. But yeah, one of my only knife, or the only knife that I got is set up for scout carry, but I actually love carrying this knife that way. So that pretty much wraps it up. This is the different ways that I like to carry my fixed blades, whether it be in my bag or on my person somehow. I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you got some ideas from it on ways that you can carry your fixed blades you hadn't thought of. But if you like what you see here, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. We love to get out in the woods and get these videos made for y'all and show you different stuff with the LT Wright knives. So if you got any questions, please comment down below and we'll get back with you. Until then, I'll see you on the next one.